What was it like co-parenting with the father of my children after he'd left when I was 38 weeks pregnant with our second child, and he moved out when she was between 8 and 12 weeks old? It's awful that I can't remember, but as you can imagine, that was a bit of a time. Our eldest had just turned 3, like just turned 3, within a week, a few weeks, and then obviously a tiny newborn. The short answer is it was pretty awful. As you can imagine, I was also breastfeeding. It is hard to remember the exact specifics or arrangement that we had during that time, because I think it was very chop and changey due to the fact that we had a tiny baby. I've always said you can't just have one, you have both kids or you have neither, but I am wondering if in the very early days he may have actually just had the 3-year-old for an hour or two until the youngest was going for longer stretches without feeding. I think once she was about 3 months old, she was going between 3 and 4 hours between feeding. So that period I remember. And in fact, I've used this piece of footage before, but there is a bit of footage that I just propped the camera up and filmed a moment that I had with my youngest where I was holding her and I was about to take her to his for the first time, and I just felt awful, and I just had like a moment with her of like telepathically talking to my baby and saying like, it's going to be okay, you're going to be home in a few hours, everything's going to be fine, it's going to be fine, everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be fine. As much to myself as to her, obviously, but I was just sort of trying to pass on the feelings to her that everything was going to be okay. You can see how small she is. So where he moved to is about a 10-minute drive from where we are. Also, after he moved, he didn't have a vehicle that was safe for them to be in, so I had to drive them to him and then drive back to pick them up. So I was doing 100% all the time with a 3-year-old and a newborn, like no break, no respite, nothing. Him having them for 2 hours was my entire rest, but I was also spending time ferrying them back and forth. So I think it was only about a 2-hour stretch that he was having them for in the beginning. As they both got older, and especially as the baby got older, that became more frequent. And then I don't think, we never had it on a basis of like, oh, just whenever, like if they want to come over, they can come over. It's always been scheduled, but the schedule has changed as they've gotten older, obviously. But in terms of how I felt, pretty dire. I cried on the way there and on the way back. Not that I let them see that, but it was horrible, really horrible, because I was also exhausted. I was emotionally wrung out. I was also worried about them. I was worried about what would happen when I wasn't